Welcome to Live Unashamed, where we pause the show and invite members of our team to talk vulnerably about their own recovery, things they're learning, the resources that are actually working, and what it truly means to live unashamed.
James, how are your fries, man?
I'm loving it.
We can't hear you.
Loving it.
For those of you who missed that,
I'm loving it.
Thanks,
hey,
Dad.
we are loving this topic, mindfulness and meditation. James, give me
Bonus content. Not bonus content.
No, it's
not.
actually.
This
No.
is-
Yeah.
We don't want to hear.
There's a
chewing
lot of false
noises in the
advertising
microphone.
out here. Just
There
really
is.
quick, McDonald's won't actually make you happy.
No, for
Are
sure.
we sponsoring McDonald's though?
Neither will porn
No.
or acting out. It doesn't act short-term.
I mean,
Short-term
unless
gain, long-term
McDonald's
pain.
and porn have one thing in common:
They are?
What
It
is
is?
What is that thing?
they won't make you happy.
Oh,
yes.
okay. That's
I
fair.
can think more things in common,
Yeah.
but
There's probably a lot.
Please
more
looks
elaborate.
really
in
good up
common.
front, is super gross after,
Highly commercialized.
highly commercialized, billion-dollar industry. A lot more people are consuming it than say they are,
And you're gonna regret it afterwards.
and you're going to regret it afterwards.
Nailed it.
Oh, and we don't need either of you to sponsor us. However, Volvo, feel free to look us back up.
Please.
High safety
I
ratings.
want one of those, yeah.
So James, mindfulness and meditation. What are
Please
your thoughts
do
on
not
that?
do the chewing noises into the.
Right into the
Oh
microphone.
no! Oh no!
Let's go.
Turns
Here,
out this is actually
listen.
ASMR.
No.
Listen.
No!
He's like, today I'm eating a burger.
Ask somebody else.
Nah, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You're not smacking at all. So mindfulness, Steve. James is rather preoccupied at the moment.
James is acting out right now.
Right in front of everybody.
I mean, I don't know if that's shamed. I don't know if that's shamed or unashamed. I'm going to leave it. So, mindfulness and meditation, why is this such a buzzword, but is really hard to do? That's the thing I want to name.
Yeah, and are people actually having success with it? Because I hear a lot of people say, like, oh yeah, mindfulness, meditation, there's all this research on it. It's proven to be really effective for your health and recovery and managing stress. And I'm interested to see, what you guys think about how that's actually been helpful.
Ella, do you actually practice any mindfulness?
Mindfulness and meditation.
Doing what?
Meditating.
What does that mean?
So I usually I have a specific song that I've been using recently that's about 11 minutes long and has no words.
Nice.
And I just take the song and I play it and I just ground myself. Like I lay down or I sit down. Usually I'm laying and I just relax all my muscles and I just imagine whatever I'm feeling in that moment completely coming over me and just completely enveloping me, whether it's I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm joyful. Whatever I'm feeling in that moment completely just attacks me. It's all over my body. And I just allow myself to be in that for the next 10 or 11 minutes that the song lasts.
I think that's a good definition of meditation. So I think of, my sister gave me a book by Pema Chodron. It's like Meditation 101, How to Meditate is the name of the book. It's a really good book, actually. And she shared a story from one of her teachers that she's like, you're walking on the earth and your feet hurt. And so you decide you're going to cover the whole earth in leather. But problems like, where is that amount of leather going to be found? And how are you literally going to cover the whole earth? Where meditation is, and mindfulness is just creating leather shoes.
Yeah.
So then you can walk wherever you want. And that has stuck with me for a long time of being like, it's not about me changing all of life's circumstances or avoiding all the emotions. Like when I act out, I'm just avoiding all the emotions. It's really about building kind of my window of tolerance to be with my felt experience more in depth or longer or consistently or accurately or authentically. I think we use a lot of words.
So my experience has been, when I was younger, I started doing this. I had a therapist who recommended it strongly, and struggled with it. And I was doing guided relaxation.
Sure.
Muscular relaxation anyways, just slowly relaxing my body. It was a form of meditation at the time. Never worked for me. Now I've re-entered that world after taking a break, and it's working extremely well. I'm curious what you guys would say to someone who is, and I'll share later, but I'm curious what you guys would say to someone who's saying, like I was 6 years ago, hey, I'm trying to do this meditation thing, and it's actually making me more anxious. I feel like I'm ruminating. I feel like I'm not able to relax, and I feel like something's wrong with me. It's actually just even more unhelpful. What would you guys say to someone who says that? Because from my experience, I've talked to a lot of people who have said, yeah, I don't know if that's really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Change the focus of your meditation.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Well, and I think healing is really about moving through the emotions. So meditation, all the Eastern stuff is it's not good or bad, it is.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people
Right.
embrace it, is because, well, you can't be good or bad, it is. The fact that you looked at porn today, Ella, doesn't make you good or bad, it just is.
Yeah.
And if we just let it be, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And I think you can get too far into like just the woo-woo of just, it's not grounded in anything. I will say that as someone who goes to yoga actively and is a big yoga fan, I think the problem with therapy Western land is that everything is calculated and science and exactly how your brain works, and a bunch of that never actually gets into the real emotional, spiritual experience. What I will say about all my friends over in Eastern is sometimes it just falls into the woo-woo. You can make anything be anything, and it's all whatever, and everything has meaning.
So focus matters.
Yeah, so the focus matters. And so use it, because like I've had that experience doing energy work or different things that I'm like, we're just making crap up, right?
Yeah.
And to just say that it has meaning. So I'm saying both camps have failures in that, but I think that's where in meditation it can fall into failure, is that you have the wrong focus.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. I think that's the missing piece.
Yeah.
Because meditation is not meditation is not meditation.
Because I'll tell you what's been happening for me. I actually just started meditating again about a month ago, and I'm working with Chris Bennett right now. He's been super helpful. And one of the things he suggested that I do is I download Calm and Insight Timer. And we're not sponsoring those apps, by the way. And
Because you don't like them, you wouldn't
no, they're
recommend
great.
them for
They're
people?
great. We're not sponsoring them.
But they're
Are we
welcome
sponsoring
to
them,
sponsor
Steve?
us.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they'll sponsor
Call 'em,
us.
pay us,
Call 'em
and we'll
see if they'll
sponsor you.
Yeah,
us.
we'll call them. I'll be making a call.
Maybe they'll give us a grant.
Anyways, I talked to him about what are the specific needs, right? We're doing a needs-based approach. What are the needs that are driving you back into addiction? And so we identified what those needs are. And so I have gone through and labeled different meditations that are for play, connection, these different things that I'm trying to fill in my life that have traditionally, for the last decade of my life, been filled by porn. And so
Yeah.
that's been so helpful. But it's what you said,
Because the
James.
meditation
it's
is
focus.
focused
Yes.
around, I want to make sure I'm following you.
Yeah.
The meditation is focused around, this is my meditation to get in touch with play.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was okay. The other thing though is I think you were talking about at the beginning of when you were starting your meditation journey, like you ended up just being more anxious.
Right.
And I think that happens when you get too focused on this is the point of my meditation, because sometimes what you think that you need to get out of the meditation is not the same thing that what your body actually needs or what God is telling you that you need to heal from. A lot of the time, like, meditation is just letting go and letting those things come out to you. Not necessarily choosing a focus beforehand, which I think can be helpful too, but just letting your body keep the score.
Focus can be letting go.
Well-
So let me just share my experience with meditation. The meditation that actually changed my life was the meditation of, the whole point of the meditation was simply draw my attention back to breath. So that when my brain started having a thought or ruminating, I simply stated, oh, I'm having a thought. I'm going to bring my attention back to breath.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole point of it was
Grounding in body.
grounding and attention-based breathing in order to simply help my brain to learn to let go of the anxiety around whatever my emotions were. Oh, I'm having an emotion. Interesting. I'm going to just I'm going to bring my attention back to my breath, because I was in a state where my brain was firing all over the place and was struggling with depression. So when I felt or was thinking things that would kind of head down that way, it sounded like maybe yours were headed the opposite way in anxiety.
Yeah.
They're both on the same scale. So to me, there still can always be a focus. And if you want, in my opinion, the one that literally I feel like was a catalyst in curing depression for me was bringing my attention just simply back to breath. And to a lot of what you're saying, just a thought was a thought and I let it go. An emotion was an emotion and I let it go. So that I didn't end up ruminating or feeling like I was meditating wrong.
Well, and I think to expand that idea, it's about bringing your focus to the present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's about bringing it to the present. And I do the John Eldridge, if you're a Wild at Heart guy, Warrior Heart, he did a pause app, has never updated
You and I
it,
this morning.
which I want to be like, bro, John, it would take you not even a half a day to record like 10 more of these, help a brother out. So someone send John Eldridge an email, let him know that.
You thought about recording your own,
However,
listening to your own meditation.
bro, I will. I'm going to record meditations and send them to you
I'll listen
now.
to them.
And so what I was going to say before Sam challenged me to actually stop being victim-y, so I'm going to go back to being victim-y. But no, what I would say changed for me was I listened to the same things. I listened to the same thing over and over again, which people are like, man, I kind of burn out. And the other thing, I'm like, but having it be the same thing is really just about a draw to present. So how I'm experiencing it every time is different. So I like it because it's God focused, but because it is so routine and has some rote to it, that I'm like, I already know what he's saying. And so there's kind of a hypnosis would be the wrong word, but a rhythm to it of just getting to present. So I think when people are always trying to jump around and be like, well, I need to meditate on this, this, and this, because the thing that I think is also true about the anxiety is also, I'm just thinking about myself in recovery. If you spent years and years and years avoiding feeling emotion, any level of meditating is going to feel anxious and you're going to be like, I'm out. And so part of me is like, I also think you can just be anxious because it's brass tacks. This is the heart of, so actually sit with and be with, which by the way, if you never do ever, because recovery is hard and you haven't expanded that, worked those muscles. No, I think anyone starting meditation, it's going to be
uncomfortable.
It's going to be super uncomfortable. And I think it will be activating.
Yes.
Which to me is a misnomer, because when anyone is saying, well, you want to do meditation to ground and shut down emotion, I'm like, go read. Pema Chodron would 100% disagree with you.
Right.
She's saying what you're saying. Meditation is about letting it come up and without judgment. It is what it is. Being fully present with anger, grief, whatever it is. Real meditation. Culture is not about shutting down your emotion and getting back to calm. That, like, even the Calm app, which may or may not be sponsoring us, we got to find out. What I'd want to say is, you are mislabeling this.
Yeah.
It is not about calming myself down. It's about getting present with whatever my emotional experience is, so I complete it. And I also think when you expand that definition, meditation now becomes a lot of different things. Not just sitting listening to an 11-minute track where they're just like, that is meditation and is great. I listen to that stuff all the time. I'm just saying it's about meditation is getting yourself to present with something.
And I was going to say, if you're like me at all and have a lot of problems feeling your emotions and letting yourself like feel those emotions, and you like to fill it with like busyness instead, like
you know me.
Scheduling time to feel your emotions can be so beneficial, because throughout the day, again, if you're like me, you're not going to allow yourself to feel your emotions like while you're at work and while you're doing school, or while you're with your friends. You're not going to like feel your big emotions in those situations. And so scheduling time to sit down and be like, this is my time to feel this emotion is so helpful for me. And that's not what meditation is for other people, but that's...
So Live Unashamed challenge as we wrap up this episode. When you hit pause or end on this episode, take 10 minutes right now to be with yourself in the present with whatever emotion comes up. Continue Live Unashamed. Follow us at unashamedandafraid.com, at unashamedandafraid, social media, whatever. Apple Podcasts, rate us. And 10 minutes, set your timer, go.